guys, and welcome back. In today's Pick a Card Tarot reading, we're doing a little bit more of a complicated topic. It's called the Scales of Justice. I got that name from a reader called Cronecast at the Rising Moon, if you're familiar with her. I'm going to be structuring mine a little bit differently though. So basically we're going to be looking into justice around a specific situation that you've experienced, some kind of injustice. So on one side of this, there's two sides, right? The scales of justice. So on one side, we're going to be looking at their karma, this person's negative consequences that they will face likely in this lifetime for the injustices they've committed against you. And on the other side, and this will be in an extended, we will be looking into how the scales of justice are going to tip back into your favor. So simply how this concept works is like, for instance, if say somebody stole something valuable, they stole your laptop, okay? We would be looking into the karma they'd face for stealing that laptop. I know most of you are asking about much more complex injustices here, but just as an example, maybe the karma might say that someone's going to steal something valuable from them. But then on your side, the scales of justice would have to tip in your favor to correct what was stolen. And a lot of people believe that when the universe comes in to correct that imbalance and it restores things to you, sometimes a lot of people say that comes with an increase as well. So you might get something in return from the universe. It might be the same exact thing. You might get a laptop, right? But it might also be something more valuable than a laptop that comes in, right? I've heard the term, it comes back with interest. So that's what we will be looking into on the other side of the scales. That will be in an extended, but I try to keep my extendeds pretty low in cost. And the first week that they're up, they will be on a discount. But anyway, that's the topic. So basically, right here on YouTube, we will look into their karma, who this person is, what they did, and then we will, in the extended, get a little more in-depth and also look into how the scales will tip in your favor, not just how this person is going to be punished or the consequences they will face. So yeah, a little more complicated than your typical what's their karma reading. But anyway, that was a lot of talking, so let's jump in here. Let's get started. Today we have 3 groups to choose from. This is group 1, group 2, and group 3. For group 1 today, we have a rough piece of Amazonite. For group 2, we have a little polished carnelian. And for group 3, a natural clear fluorite tetrahedron. It's kind of hard to see, it's so small. They're all small. But anyway, those are the choices. You can, of course, choose more than one group for different people, different situations. You can choose a group to represent like a group of people that might have harmed you in some way, or a single person. Doesn't matter. Use this reading how you feel it would benefit you. But as always, just take as much time as you need to decide which group or groups that you feel most drawn to. And when you're ready, please go ahead and click the corresponding timestamp in the description box below this video, and I will see you in just a second. Hi group 1, and welcome to your reading. You guys chose the little Amazonite today. So the topic for today's reading is the scales of justice. So real quickly, for those of you who skipped the intro, this is a 2-part reading. On the first side, we're going to be looking at the negative scales for the person who harmed you, so the karma of anybody who caused you some type of injustice. And then in the extended, we will be looking at how the scales will tip back for you in your particular life back in your favor. But yeah, go back to the intro if you want more clarification on that, but let's go ahead and get started on this part. First, we're going to look at who this person is, what they did to you, just for verification purposes, so we can clarify, and then we will get into what their karma or consequences will be. Okay, so I think these ones are for the karma. Okay, So let's see here. Start with animal spirit. So we have the raccoon. This could be an earth sign. It doesn't have to be. I'm going to get signs and stuff later in a minute here. Definitely, this is somebody who hides in the shadows, okay? So I feel like very clearly hiding their initial intentions when they meet somebody through manipulation, gaslighting, somebody who, yeah, just not honest about their intentions or their plans in life. Hiding in the shadows generally, meaning they might, I don't know, I'm getting skulky, like they sulk a lot. Like I feel like a lot of their day-to-day life is kind of just being in a dark room, not really interacting much unless they feel like they have to, or they're going to get something out of it. That kind of energy, like it feels like they don't actually have much of a life for a lot of them. But let's see here. Let's go with the tarot. We have the Four of Pentacles and the Five of Wands for who they are and what they've done to you. Okay. Definitely withholding something, making you fight for something. Almost, I'm getting like that the energy of, dangling the carrot in front of the horse's face, right? Like, here's what you can have. You can have this, but you got to fight for it. You got to work for it. But then, the bar keeps getting moved. And this can be done in a way that's meant to break down your boundaries, right? If you break down your boundary just a little bit here, then you can have this reward. And maybe you don't actually get it, and you just keep lowering your boundaries further and further and further until you're too far in. You should, future faking, I think is the term for that. This could also be just withholding. This could even be the situation where you worked really hard for something, and maybe this person didn't necessarily pull the carrot further and further back, but they just didn't give it to you. Maybe they took something that belonged to you, that you earned for yourself, and they took the credit. Because with the Four of Pentacles here, it's greedy, right? And it almost feels like they're just holding on to something that doesn't belong to them. And so with the Pentacles there, this could be money, because Pentacles represent earthly things. It could be something to do with your own body. They might have taken access to it that they shouldn't have. Let me see here. Let's go this way. Okay, so we have the Beggar in reverse. We have the Militia. That's so interesting. And we have the Pawn. With the Pawn, this person might have used you in some type of game they were playing, and maybe didn't even realize it was a game. Remember, I'm getting this person hid in the shadows a lot. Didn't reveal their intentions is what I mean by that, hiding in the shadows. So they might have used you in some type of game that you didn't even know you were playing, and maybe that's why the carrot's being dangled. They're just using you, moving you around, and it might have even just been because I don't know, they're just cruel and sadistic in some way, and they think it's funny to have power over other people or to keep other people in the dark. But with the Militia and the Five of Wands, this is a very combative, militant energy here. So this might not resonate with everybody here, but it feels like some of you might have felt really threatened by this person. So this person might have actually tried to control you, not by withholding rewards, or maybe they did that too, but also through actual threats. So I'm getting, for some of you, this might even be threats to your physical safety, it's just horrible. This is horrible. I hate this. I'm so sorry, group one, if this is resonating. But it could also be threats to your financial security. So it might have been somebody just, I don't know, it just feels like this person was playing power games just for the sake of it, or with the pawn here, potentially to advance themselves in some way. With beggar in reverse here. So yeah, I definitely feel like they held on to some sort of reward that they promised or that rightfully belonged to you. Didn't give it didn't give that to you, even if you worked for it. And basically, they left you as a beggar. They might have even left this whole situation making, like, I don't know, like, how do I describe this? Like, it's like two people coming into a situation, maybe they're on equal footing, but this person took with everything, and then the other person left a beggar, completely broken, completely lost. It doesn't have to be that extreme in everybody's case, but it's like, there's definitely this exchange where they took a lot more energy than they gave. And it was really extreme in some of your cases. But yeah, it's just a lot of control, manipulation, and I want to say manipulation is specifically through coercion, through force, through threats that I'm picking up on here. There might have even been subtle implied threats that maybe other people don't even believe you on. Or it could be direct harmful threats for some of you. Or future faking, or just withholding enough information, keeping you just enough in the dark that you were the perfect pawn in their game, if that kind of makes sense. But I'm gonna pull some charms here, see if we can get any other signs or details, and then we'll get into what this person's karma is. So we do have earth energy here. It could be an earth sign. So Spirit, tell us any more about who this person is and what they did to hurt my group one. Okay. So we're getting, okay, very interesting. So we have Scorpio energy here, we have Sagittarius energy, we have Cancer, we have the initial K, especially K in Scorpio, so that's really relevant to somebody. We have the initial B, we have the initial F, we have the initial O, and S, and we have G. We have the banana in the second house. So it's like they took something and they feel like they won a game. But I feel like you didn't know you were playing, right? You didn't know it was a game. So, I mean, if this was like, say, a romantic relationship or something, maybe you didn't know there was a game to be played. Maybe you just loved this person, but this person was playing you. They were using you in some way. And they think it's funny that they won, and it's just sick. I just find it so sick. I'm sorry. And we have the letter O again. And those could be zeros, I just heard, for some of you, if that's relevant. Could be a decade age difference as well. So with all these different houses here, this could be a lot of different situations for some of you. We do have this 7th house placement here. So this could be a marriage. Someone you divorced, it looks like. We have a 1st house placement here. Could be a family member with the 4th house there, or somebody that you were building a creative project with the 5th house there. But yeah, it's a lot of different situations that this could be. But very strong Sagittarius energy, very strong Scorpio. It doesn't have to be these signs. It could just be representing this person was acting in the negative manner of those signs, if that kind of makes sense. And with, you know, the negative aspects of Scorpio kind of really match kind of the vibe I'm picking up on here. I'm not saying that being a Scorpio is bad, but you know, like when Scorpios are acting out of their shadow, it can be a lot like how I've described here. But yeah, it could be a lot of earth sign energy as well, but we also have these initials. But hopefully that helps you get some clarification on who this person is, making sure this is the right reading for all of you who want clarification. So let's get into their karma, their negative consequences that they will face. And I tried to set the intention for what they'll face in this lifetime, but it doesn't always work that way, to be honest. It just doesn't. Sometimes people can do stuff that's, can't be made up for in a single lifetime, or just other factors, other reasons. So it's like, that's my intention, but we'll see what comes through. Okay, I think we'll start with the cards. So these are my Norse mythology cards. We have Sinmara, which says nightmare. Okay, and we have Ire in reverse, and she says healing and medicine. I feel like a lot of psychological torment. I feel like this person's going to go through a lot. It's like their guilt is haunting them. But they refuse to look at it. They refuse to feel the guilt and shame even. Maybe that's why I was getting such like a sulky energy. It's like they feel this so profoundly in their subconscious, this guilt and shame over what they did, but they refuse to look at it, so it's causing so much psychological tension, and I feel like it manifests in really horrific ways in their psyche. I mean, with Sinmara here, she literally is the personification of nightmares, so I feel like they do have nightmares about this. So it's their subconscious breaking through in some kind of way to haunt them. And I feel like this will start as nightmares. I feel like it's going to progress as worse to that in some cases. It just comes through their guilt and their shame is haunting them. For some of them, it might manifest, because sometimes our buried psychological issues can start manifesting as health problems. So this person might suppress their guilt and shame down so much it manifests into some type of health problem. I'm not saying that's the reason that anybody has a health problem ever, right? There's all sorts of different reasons that can cause them, but that is one of the reasons, like the body can start attacking itself because of unaddressed issues. And I feel like this person's guilt and shame is something that severely attacking their subconscious. No matter how much it's like they push it down more, and then the more they push it down, the worse it gets. So I feel this energy of things worsening. So starting out with some nightmares, and then the nightmares just keep getting worse over time, the more they ignore it. Okay, so for your runes, or their runes to represent their karma, we have Othala. I just heard racism might be a big thing in your dynamic here. Like some of what they did might have been related to that for some of you. And we have Willow, which is the sun, and we have Urus. So beyond just their subconscious, and it may be their guilt condensing in a way that it turns into some sort of physical ailment, it feels like it causes a lot of unconscious self-sabotage that will block them from getting the fruits of their labor. Okay, so I was picking up for some of you, this person forced you to work really hard and basically withheld your just rewards, right? You didn't get what you earned. You didn't get back what you put in. You didn't get the recognition, the appreciation, the money, the promotion, the love, whatever it was that they were dangling in front of you. You didn't get it. And I feel like this person is going to deal with something similar in a sense that they will work really hard, but it will never pan out. It's just like, so I'm just seeing someone like building something, like building a big structure, and then it just dissipates into smoke. So like everything they try and everything they work on, it will just basically dissipate into smoke. It will go nowhere. They will never get that reward. And part of why it's happening is this unconscious self-sabotage. Like they're refusing to look at their own guilt and feel their own guilt, because for a lot of you, what they did was very heinous. So it's probably really hard for them to look at that and feel it, but just their act of suppressing it is making it so much worse, and it's going to come out into like worse and worse forms of self-sabotage. Yeah, because it's like these two runes in particular, this is about victory, success, things you build, things you work for, channeling all your energy into it, and being really excited for the results, being really excited for the victory. And then it's like their victory doesn't come though. And this rune is specifically tied to inheritance. So like this could be an actual family inheritance in some cases, and maybe this person has sabotaged that for themselves, and you know, maybe they're expecting to inherit some sort of sum of money from some family members, and then it doesn't pan out. They sabotage themselves in some kind of way, and they don't end up getting it. So it's like they don't get rewards, they don't get inherited rewards, they don't get things they work for. It's like anything that they're expecting to be given to them, it doesn't come to them, and even if it does, it dissolves. Because I just keep getting different forms of this dissolving energy, like someone like getting a gift, like a present, and then the present just dissolves in their hands. So even if they do inherit like some type of money or earn it, it's like it goes away immediately. It just fades because of some unexpected bills or a bad investment. They don't actually get to enjoy any fruits of their labor. But I need to pull some more tarot here. Let's get some more clarity. Okay, so Spirit, for group 1, this person, their karma. What is their karma for harming group number 1? What is their karma? We have the 3 of Wands. We have the Page of Pentacles. I don't feel like this is going to manifest for most of you in like, it might for some of you, like a similar situation where someone else dangles a reward in front of their face and they work hard and they don't get it. I feel like it's their own guilt that does it to them and forces them to self-sabotage for most of you. Which is going to be really, that's almost a manifestation of their suppression of the guilt, because they're not going to understand why this keeps happening to them. They're not going to understand it's happening because they've suppressed the guilt, so it just feels confusing and it feels unfair to them. So it's harder for them to resolve because it's not like a direct situation that directly mirrors what they did to you, even though it's their own subconscious kind of mirroring what they did to you. I hope that makes sense. But we have the 3 of Wands, we have the Page of Pentacles, and we have Temperance. So Temperance is Sagittarius. There's a lot of Sagittarius energy coming through here. So it doesn't necessarily, for all of you, need to be like a Sagittarius Sun, Moon, or Rising person we're talking about here. This could also be their karma might happen in the Sagittarius season, something like that. I also heard Sagittarius child. I don't know what that's about. For some of you, this person might be an alcoholic or struggle with other substances, and it just feels like they might be, I'm sorry if you can hear that motorcycle outside, but what was I saying? They might struggle with that, and it's like obviously they're using that as one of their ways that they're suppressing this guilt and this shame, but it's not going to work because they keep getting this, it's getting worse. It gets so much worse over time. It'll worsen and worsen and worsen to the point where, like, anything they're doing to numb that guilt and suppress it isn't gonna work anymore. Like, they can, if they're an alcoholic, they can drink as much as they want and they'll still feel rotten. You know, it'll eventually get to that point where it can't be suppressed anymore. I mean, it might lead to a mental breakdown of some sort for some of them. But yeah, look at all, like, the nuts and bolts and screws down here. This is like something this dude worked on and then it just fell apart. Like, they will see no success, they will see no rewards, and it just feels like not just the fruits of their labor in terms of things they built materially falling away, but also relationships fizzling out. Because I also feel like this person is going to get progressively lonely. Like, lonelier and lonelier. That's a hard word to say for me. As their life goes on. Like, there's just going to be less and less things. It just becomes more and more empty, more and more meaningless, more... It's really sad. And it just feels like if they could just look at themselves in the mirror and address this guilt, which, I mean, if they've done some really bad things that I'm picking up on here, that's probably a really difficult thing to do. So kind of makes sense why they don't want to face that pain, but it's like they're going to have to anyway. Like, maybe they will refuse to face it until after they die. I don't know. I feel like for some of them, this repressed guilt and shame, it will manifest as explosive anger, and that might make things fall apart for them. You know, it might block family inheritance if they suddenly can't control their temper, or they might lose their job they worked really hard for. Things like that, just because they can't, they're losing the control they have over themselves slowly over time. And it happens so slowly. I just feel like, and things fade away so slowly, it's hard for this person to pinpoint where it came from, but it will be coming from this. Whether it's just from treating you this way, or maybe even a lifelong pattern of treating a lot of different people this way. Okay, so before we move on to the extended and we look into how the scales are going to tip back in your favor to help correct your life, I'm just going to pull some emoji cards to see if we can get any other specifics here. I'm also getting, like, pollution and filth. So I don't know, like, this person's environment might get filthy, dirtier and dirtier. Like, maybe because they're not able to take care of themselves, or they don't have the mental fortitude to clean their own house, something like that. Okay, we have the thumbs up emoji. Interesting. I feel like there's higher spiritual forces, angelic presences around this person, basically wanting to offer them healing energy, especially as this gets progressively worse, but they're still refusing that, because in order for them to accept that healing energy, they have to face their own guilt, which they refuse to do. They just refuse to do it. So we have the thumbs up, we have the shower head, and we have the leaves here. So this is like watering a garden. And there's even these wands are growing into flowers here. It's like it's exactly what I've been saying. Like, they pour so much water, resources, energy, time into building, you know, their career, their relationships, every aspect of their life, and it dissipates, it dissolves. Like, the plants die for no reason. And it's because they're kind of choosing death by not accepting the healing energy these higher spiritual forces are trying to send them. they're choosing to repress the guilt rather than face it. So things just get sicker and sicker and weaker. And it's just really sad. It's a really sad, pathetic way for a life to progress, to be honest. And then we have the magnifying glass on the bottom here. So it's like they could look and find the reason. They don't want to, and they refuse, and it's so sad. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the extended part. So there will be a link below for those of you who want to follow me over there. It will be discounted for the first week that I have this video live. So go check that out. If you're interested, we will be looking into basically, I don't want to call it good karma, but just how this situation will correct itself and how the scales will be balanced for you, so that you can move on in a just and fair manner after what this person did to you. But anyway, even if you're not, feel free to like this video, check out my other videos, subscribe if you're new, all that good stuff. But anyway, thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see some of you over in the extended in just a minute here. So bye. Hi group 2, and welcome to your reading. You guys chose the little carnelian today. So the topic for today's reading is the scales of justice, which means it is a 2-part reading where we are looking at each side of the scale for those of you who skipped the intro. So right now we're going to be looking into what is the karma of the person on your mind. How will justice be served to that person, to the person who caused you injustice, pain, harmed you, or a loved one in some way. And then in the second part of the reading, which will be in an extended, we will be looking at how the scales of justice will be kind of tipping back into your favor. So your good karma, if you will. But yeah, watch the intro for more details on that. Right now we are getting started on this part of the reading. So we're going to first see just briefly, who is this person? What did they do to you? To get an overall energy of the reading, then we'll look into their karma. So yeah, these ones are the karma. So who is this person and what did they do? From the Animal Spirit Oracle, we have the eagle. So the eagle is an air sign, so that's Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, but it's very specifically Aquarius, so there could be a lot of Aquarian energy involved in this situation. Could be something that even happened during Aquarius season, things like that. That could be a significant time period here, but we will get more signs and stuff in a little bit here. From the tarot, we have the World. We have the 5 of Swords, and we have the 6 of Cups. So with the 6 of Cups, this could also be something that happened in childhood. Doesn't have to be coming of age. This is definitely somebody who left you feeling betrayed. Somebody who might have loved bombed you in the beginning, and then left you basically betrayed, like I said, feeling like, what's this emotion? What is this emotion? Feeling honestly dumbfounded, confused a little bit, once things were finally completed. There could be a loss of innocence, or somebody manipulating naivety in this situation, and that could even just be manipulating a situation where this person had more facts but didn't give you enough facts, enough informed consent. I mean, this what I'm describing could also even play out in like a workplace setting where like maybe a boss is I don't know, love bombing, giving you a lot of praise, promising like a bunch of things, a promotion, a raise, and all these things. So just so you'll do more work, and then once that work's actually complete, like it doesn't happen, you know, like it was fake love bombing, and then they start making excuses. But I mean, I'm also getting some more serious things related to loss of innocence. With the Six of Cups here, this could be something where you're asking about something that happened in childhood or early puberty even. I am getting, I don't know if I want to say out loud what I'm getting. I mean, you're watching a karma reading, so trigger warning, obviously, but there might be some sexual abuse that I'm picking up on here. But it's like a lot of manipulation, pulling the strings. Somebody that's either of higher intelligence, higher, or even just an older age, or just somebody who's even like higher up in a company. Somebody who has more information, more intelligence, more experience, using that against you. To pull the wool over your eyes, to yeah, just to use and take something. Because I just feel like on the Six of Cups card, like there's a huge cup behind the older person here, and like it's like they're giving this smaller cup to the other person and pretending that's everything. Like, I'm giving you everything because and they're just hiding the rest of this, if that kind of makes sense. Let's see. So from my Dominion cards, we have Curse. So this person could have, I mean, if they're the type of person that is into like magic and the occult and all that, they might have actually put a curse on you, but it feels like they might have actually just wished a lot of negative energy on you. With the Five of Swords here, this can really indicate a lot of other people being involved too. And I'm also hearing something about like speaking negative things. So this could be just speaking negative things directly to you, eventually wearing down your self-worth, even if they love bombed you in the beginning. But this could also be speaking negatively about you to other people in the community, to your friends, to your family. Just putting like a lot of dirt on your name. And they might have done this to cover up some other actions that they did as well. Let's see. We have Remodel in reverse, and we have Merchant. So, okay. This could be somebody who... I just feel like they used you for their own personal gain, whether that was for their own carnal satisfactions, or with the Merchant here, it could be for their own financial gain. They might have used some free labor. Like, for instance, if this was like a romantic situation, this could be somebody who was just preying on your love to get you to do things for them that helped them in their career, helped them get ahead, things like that. And with Remodel here, it just feels like maybe, especially if they were love bombing in the beginning in some kind of way, and love bombing doesn't have to be romantic, right? This can also happen in a workplace or in a family situation by throwing just a lot of appreciation and love on you. It doesn't have to be romantic love. But I feel like the emotion I was trying to describe in the beginning, like feeling dumbfounded, like you might have got that love bombing and then kept expecting that to continue, and it might have just, with the Remodel in reverse here, just switched one day, and suddenly maybe they just suddenly left you for another person, or if it was a workplace, you're suddenly fired, or just something like that. Like, suddenly their entire attitude towards you shifted and you didn't know why, but it was like ultimately the reason was that the initial attitude was fake. And it might have left you feeling really hurt, really confused, betrayed, dumbfounded, questioning yourself. It's really awful. Okay, I'm going to grab my Astro Charms over here. And we're going to get a few other signs because we have Aquarius here already, but I want to see if anything else comes through, or any other details about what they did, any initials, things like that. So Spirit, any other details about this person? I think that's too many. That's way too many. Okay. And I have an engagement ring charm that I keeps wanting to come out, but I'm not quite grabbing it. So I don't know if for some of you, there's like an engagement that got broke off, like, or even a marriage that got broke off. This could be an indicator of that. Try to pull out the charm if you can see it. It really doesn't want to come out. But, so yeah, it might have been something like that, like a broken engagement. So we have the initials X, O, and Z. That's interesting because those are like, not very common letters. So this person might have had maybe a really unique name or a very unique spelling to their name. If those initials don't necessarily resonate, we have Scorpio. We have Gemini and Cancer and Jupiter. So it's, yeah, with the Jupiter here, this person used you for their own game and gain in some way. It really was financial gain for some of you. Maybe they used you to get ahead in their career, or used you as a status symbol in the eyes of the world, something like that. We have Z, or that's N, sorry, but Z, we do have a Z and an N as initials here. We have P. This is a 7th house placement, so yeah, definitely could be involved in marriages, contract, partnerships, things like that. Let's see. We have Uranus. That's that Aquarian energy coming through again. We have the avocado. I'm getting torso issues, so maybe this person might have had or even caused issues for you in regards to, I want to say the stomach area, or even the female organ area, like the uterus area, something like that. Might have had issues there that this person might have caused. And we have the letter L. See, even this emoji is kind of like that confused, dumbfounded face. This person might have even left you feeling really ashamed and embarrassed that you didn't see what they were doing, or you didn't know, or you didn't understand at the time. So I feel like it might have caused a lot of buried shame. And the shame actually might be stored in your body, maybe in those areas I was picking up on, this kind of stomach, abdominal area. With the 11th house placements here, this person really might have disrupted your community or friendship circle. They might have made you feel uncomfortable to go out, to explore, to travel more. They might have left you even feeling depressed and not wanting to do and engage in the same types of things you did before this person. It just seems like they might have really shocked your comfort levels almost in some ways, or even your abilities or desire to engage in your creativity, your expressiveness. Like you might have really closed up as a result of this person. And with the 2nd and 3rd house placement here, this person might have disrupted your finances, like your ability to support yourself. They might have destabilized that a little bit for some of you. But interesting. So hopefully that gives you clarity. With all the weird letters, though, I just feel like this person might have really had a unique name, or even a unique nickname, something like that. Unique spelling. But let's look into this person's karma. Their karma. And wait, my tarot deck I was going to use. Okay, there it is. Okay, so what is this person's karma? We have Earth, which is the Norn of the present, not the past or the future, the present. So that's interesting. Maybe they're getting their karma right now. We also have Aegir, which is in reverse, and it says hospitality, abundance, and currents. So their karma, how is it going to hit them? I mean, hospitality, abundance, and currents. This is kind of the god of wealth in reverse here, so I do feel like this is going to hit their money. Not just their money, but like their karma is going to hit their status in the world. So it's like, even if they still have a bunch of money that they used, stepped on your head in order to get, as an example, like if they got money out of this, or clout, or something like that, something that made them feel really proud of themselves, it's like, even if they keep that money, it's not going to fulfill them. Like, people are going to, it's not going to fulfill them in the eyes of others, because I feel like that's honestly what this person craves, is the status. They want people to look highly upon them. They want people to think a certain way about them. They want to control other people's image of them. So it's like, for instance, if this person used you to get money, it's like they might keep that money for a little bit, but it's like, no one's gonna care. No one's gonna be impressed by it, you know? Like if this is that stereotypical thing of a man making a bunch of money just so he can have a bunch of women around him. It's like, maybe he'll make the money, but no women are still interested in him. Like, it's that kind of thing. That's an example. But it's like, it's not gonna, anything they got out of you, they're not actually gonna get any of that satisfaction, that pride from other people. But with a gear being in reverse, though, I do feel like eventually their empire will crumble. Like, they will lose their money. Even if they didn't use you for money, I do feel like part of their karma is to be hit in their foundation, in their, I want to say, self-worth. And self-worth is very often linked to our prosperity and our abundance. So I do feel like something is going to hit this person's sense of self-worth that will lead to some kind of decrease in that prosperity and that abundance. One second, my dog is knocking on my door. Okay, sorry about that. My dog hears me talking and then always thinks, well, I gotta go in there and be with mom. She's excited. So anyway, where was I? This person's karma. Okay, another thing I was getting was like some sort of psychological fogginess. Like, I don't think like brain fog necessarily, but I just feel like constantly being distracted, constantly being up in the clouds daydreaming instead of actually, it's kind of this feeling of being ungrounded to the point where they can't actually keep their own foundation stable. Like some kind of lack of clarity. But let's see, I want to look at these runes now. So we have Ingus and we have Thorn. Oh, their fertility. So I feel like that's another thing that's going to be hit, is their maybe not fertility necessarily. That might be a struggle for this person if they're trying to start a family or something, wanting children. But I want to say more their, how do I say this? Their sexual performance, you know? Like, for instance, if this is a male, they can't keep it up, you know? And I feel like that's going to be a big source of insecurity and lack of self-worth that I was picking up on before. Yeah, it's like, if this is a man, and I know it's a lot of man for all of you, but it's like this person's manhood is going to be threatened in some kind of way. They're going to be feeling kind of impotent. Yeah, because this is a lot about masculine sexuality. If we're talking about a woman here, I feel like sex life and ability to be with men, that might never actually properly line up for her. Let's see. It's the ability to act. It's like this disconnect between the mind and where it wants to go, where it wants to daydream, and the ability to actually put it into action and practice. I feel like that doesn't ever actually properly manifest for this person. There's also like, there's a violent aspect to this karma. So I'm not saying for everyone here, maybe for some of you, because I am picking up on some pretty serious situations here for some of you. This person might actually face some particularly violent karma, where there's some kind of physical harm done to them. I feel like by men, because there's something about male aggression coming in through here, but that's not for everybody here. But the violence is, it might be the forcefulness of this karma. Like it might just come in so suddenly and so shockingly, that this person might be left feeling really shocked and ashamed. Okay, so let's see here. Spirit, the person on group 2's mind, what is their karma? What is their karma for hurting group 2, for causing injustice to group 2? Temperance. What is their karma? We have the 2 of Swords in reverse. 10 of Swords. Sudden destabilization. 6 of Swords. That is a lot of swords, and more of that Aquarian energy coming through as well. So if this person isn't an Aquarius, you're not an Aquarius, and there's not strong placements there that you're aware of, I feel like this karma is going to suddenly happen during Aquarius season. So, you know, that January, February, beginning of the calendar year. Because it's like, okay, it's like with the Temperance card. They're at peace, they think everything's fine, and then suddenly it comes out of nowhere, all 10 of these swords. So I just feel like it's going to be a very sudden shock to them when it comes. Even if it comes significantly later after this happens, that might be why it's so shocking to them, is they've become complicit in it. They don't care what they did, they don't care how they've hurt you, and then all of a sudden it hits them, like all 10 of these swords. So I do feel like their money is definitely one thing. Their ability to focus is another thing. And then something about their sexuality. So their fertility or their impotence, maybe. With the 6 of Swords here, they might be suddenly forced to move or relocate. So this could be, like, for instance, their home flooding. They have an issue with their home. Suddenly being let go from a job, but it's just like forced, a forced shakeup. I'm feeling like it's their home though, because I am getting this foundation energy. So this is their money, their home, their living situation, something like that. It's just gonna suddenly come in and shock them, even years after. It might take years for this karma to manifest for some of them, but it will, suddenly and shockingly. I'm gonna pull some emoji cards to see if we can get any other specific details here. Oh my gosh, look. Sorry, I always get distracted when I'm switching to a new deck. I can, like, this male aggression, this male violence keeps coming through. So not for all of you, but for those of you where you experience this person cause some very, very severe traumatic or even violent crimes against you, I feel like that's what's coming back to them, is some type of male violence. Obviously not for everybody, but that is coming through. So it's a message for somebody here. Let's see. Okay, emoji cards. I'm also getting something about grandmother. I don't know what that is about. Okay, we have the alarm clock, the piano keys. What is this person's karma, please? This person's karma. I don't know. It's like the confetti. This is, you know, it's giving more of that sudden energy I was just talking about here with the alarm clock. It just like it all happens. Like I'm picking up on multiple things. So it's like one thing in their life after another gets hit all at once. So it's very acute, this karma. And again, like I was saying, like this person is very obsessed with like status and what other people think of them. So I feel like one of the things that's really going to hurt this person is that there will be people around them that, with the confetti here, are celebrating their downfall. Like this person's gonna feel so ashamed because they actually see people that are happy that bad things are happening to them. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm not condoning it. I'm not advocating that you do or don't celebrate this person's downfall. I don't know the situation, but that's one of the things that's going to make this person feel really hurt and ashamed, is that other people will be happy that these bad things are happening to them, which is really sad. And then the piano keys. I'm getting this, like, the colors black and white were coming through right from this card, and the black and white piano keys. So we could be looking at duality here. A total black and white, a total shift from white to black, black to white. I don't know, something about like maybe their whole world being turned upside down. Yeah, it's like one day it's all peachy, clear, and perfect and wonderful, and then all of a sudden this karma hits, and it's shocking. I feel like this person might have just had too inflated of an ego, too big of a head. I mean, look at this card. Like, this character, like, the whole hot air balloon is being held up by their head. Their head got too hot. They got too hubristic, too full of themselves, and that bubble had to pop at some point. So this could even be cumulative karma as well. If this seems too severe for what they did to you, I mean, they might just have a pattern of doing this until it finally collapses, because the universe won't support the weight of this person's ego anymore, like, to be honest. But anyway, I'm gonna end this part of the reading right here. If you're very interested in knowing how the scales are gonna tip back into your favor, you can follow me over to the extended. I keep them pretty inexpensive over here, and they will be discounted, of course, for the first week. But yeah, so if you're not understanding what I mean by the scales tipping back in your favor, basically when there is an injustice, someone harms you in some way, it kind of leaves an energetic gap, right? So like you were taken from, and we want to know how the universe is going to correct that to get it back to a level playing field. So it's not necessarily your good karma so much as just the natural correction that the universe has to make. To maintain that homeostasis, to maintain that balance. So that's what we're going to be looking into, is what's coming in to correct that imbalance for you, group 2. So if you're interested, go follow me over there, and I will see you in just a minute. But for everyone here, just always thank you for being here. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and I will see you in another video, and I will see some of you in just a minute. Bye. Hi group 3, and welcome to your reading. You guys chose the clear fluorite octahedron today. So the topic for today's reading, it's actually a multi-part reading. For those of you who skipped the intro, you might want to go back and watch that. We are going to be looking at the scales of justice. So on one side, that is we're looking at a situation where you face some kind of injustice. So on one side, we're looking at the karma and consequences the person or people who caused the injustice will face. Ideally, in this lifetime is kind of what I want to look into this reading. And then the part two will be in an extended, but it will be how those scales are going to be balanced back into your favor so that equilibrium in the universe can be restored. And usually that is through something positive, an influx of good things to balance out the things that were basically taken from you, if that kind of makes sense. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started with this part. So we are going to first look into who this person is, what they did, to get some clarification and overall energy, and then we will look into what this person's karma will be. So let's get started with that. Sorry, it's been such a long intro. Let's go. So you guys have two animal spirit oracles. We have the rabbit and the cobra. Let's see, let's go with the tarot. You guys had like a lot more cards than the other groups to start out with. So we have, from the tarot, we have the Eight of Cups. We have the special, this is the Way card that came with this deck. We have the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Fool. And we have the Page of Swords. So I'll get into who this person might be, but I am getting some stuff right off the bat for what it is this person might have done. I feel like part of what this person might have done, and we'll get more clarity, is like, I want to say blind leadership, okay? Like somebody who acted like they knew what they were doing, and acted like some kind of guide, some kind of mentor. This could even be a boss at work. It doesn't have to be. It could be a romantic partner. It could be a parent. But somebody who was very... They might have been charismatic, but it just seemed like they portrayed themselves in a way that they knew. They knew exactly what to do, how to do it. This is the way. You're going to follow me and everything will be perfect. Like they were experienced, knowledgeable, wise. This could be in a specific area. Like they might have convinced you to do something because they convinced you they knew what was the correct way, or that everything was going to be okay. I mean, this could even be a salesperson that you're asking about. And the sales, like a salesperson misleading you almost. But I feel like for a lot of you, this was somebody who basically was in some kind of position of authority, or at least they positioned themselves as someone knowledgeable, maybe a know-it-all. But in reality, they were the fool. They were naive. They didn't actually know what they were doing. They were just coming across like they did. And I almost want to say they framed it in a way that was like, I know what's best for you. This is great for you, even though for a lot of you, this person or these people might have had selfish motives where it was actually all for them, but they wanted to frame it in a way where like, no, this is beneficial for you too. Almost exploitative in some cases. With the Page of Swords here, you might have also dealt with, in more severe cases, like somebody like surveilling you, watching you, because I'm almost picking up like cameras or something here, but that could also be like, you know, just stalking your social media, keeping tabs on you, following up on you in maybe a less severe kind of stalker way. But I just, honestly, it just, I don't know how to say this, but it's like this person's almost dumb, but they're pretending they're smart. Or they might even think they're smart even though they're dumb, okay? I hope that terminology is not offensive, but it is just something like this person's like not knowledgeable, or they're not smart, or something like that, but they want to think they are, or they want you to think they are. I feel like this person might talk a lot. They might talk really fast, like in a way that is deliberately made to, like jumping from subject to subject, or talking really fast so that you can't actually process what they're saying, or just something. It's just like, I want to say manipulative speech. Not a good listener, but a good, just convincing. Like I want to say used car salesman sales tactics, but used not necessarily in that situation, if that kind of makes sense. So, this could be like in a romantic relationship, like um, leading you on when I don't want to say for in most cases it was like deliberate, like they're leading you on just to abuse you, because I've had that in some of the other piles here, unfortunately. But I feel like this person was like just foolish, naive, like they wanted to come across as better than they were in some way. But we got more cards to look into, so let's get some more clarity. We do have fire and earth here, so fire and earth energy can be relevant. We will get more signs later. So we have the sage in reverse. We have the pixie upright and the tragic hero upright. Well, I mean, sage in reverse, that's kind of like what I've been saying. Like this person, like it's almost like that type of person that uses big words because they think it makes them sound smarter, even though they might even misuse those words. Like it's that type of energy. Pixie, like trickster, but not malicious, even maybe for some of you, or not realizing, maybe taking dumb actions and harming you, but this person is like too something to realize that they've harmed you or realize that their actions will harm you. Like lacking self-awareness about the harm they caused. And this could be from, not being very intelligent, or this could be from being really just immature. Developmentally lacking some empathy. Or just thinking, well, this is benefiting me, so it must also benefit group 3. It's just like harming you because they're clumsy, careless, and self-focused, okay? I mean, it is coming from self-focus, but it's just like this person isn't awake. They're not conscious, if that kind of makes sense. And then we have tragic hero upright. I feel like this person, they want to perceive themselves as, this hero, this great leader, because there is this like, I'm a leader, follow me, do what I say, I'm gonna help you out here kind of energy. But this person's not actually that. They just think they are. And I feel like they genuinely think they are, and they genuinely don't realize how harmful their actions are in most cases here. With the rabbit here, I mean, this card is a lot about listening, so I feel like this person's a bad listener, even if they pretended to be. The rabbit's also a lot of anxiety, so I don't know if this person actually has kind of a nervous, anxious disposition, but this could also represent that that's how they made you feel. Like maybe you were in a lot of anxiety during, before, after encountering this person. It's like this, they want to be a teacher, they want to be a leader, they want to be seen as smart and wise. But I'm going to pull some tarot. Where is my deck? There it is. And we're going to see any more details that might want to come through here. So Spirit, can you help us clarify, what did this person do to my group 3? What happened in this situation? Okay, we have the Two of Swords. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse. I feel like this person is emotionally stunted. So the Queen of Swords being in reverse, this is her most negative traits coming out, right? In her positive traits, she is very emotionally balanced, and she can logically process and understand other people's emotions. But for her to be reversed, that's when she's conniving. That's when she's using her mind over the emotions, and I'm just getting empathetically stunted from that. So it just feels like this person, they're either so dumb or so immature that they don't realize that other people have feelings, other people can be harmed by their actions, something like that. It's immaturity, it's lack of empathy, it's not being awakened. Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is the heartbreak card. This person broke your heart. They harmed you in some way. They threw swords into your back. Really might have been a situation where it really caused you to block off your heart with the Two of Swords and the Three of Swords here. Strong Gemini energy as well with those cards. Yeah, heartbroken. This person might have left you feeling really heartbroken and confused because maybe what they did was lead you on emotionally. Maybe it was some level of emotional manipulation that was going on. We have the Three of Wands. This person might have suddenly blocked you as well. What is that? That is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, I feel like they might have suddenly blocked you, suddenly cut off communication, or their communication suddenly flipped from being like, for instance, if this is romantic, it went from like, I love you so much to like one day later being like, I don't know, I don't care, I don't want to talk to you. Like just some sort of like hot and cold switch that might have happened that left you feeling really confused on top of heartbroken. Because the Two of Swords energy, she's like, this is normally somebody that's like blindfolded holding the swords as well. So I just feel like there's a lack of clarity, like a sudden change in communication that happened. With the Nine of Pentacles being in reverse, I also feel like there's some level of codependency in this situation. If this was romantic, so it might have been you working through some codependency issues. If that resonates, but this could also be like a situation where, say, a boss was leading you on, and then they decided, oh well, you're not valuable anymore, and then they just let you go. You know, just suddenly going from hot to cold, real quick. But that's kind of, I feel like I need to look at one more card. Okay, so the Five of Swords, betrayal. Like betraying you, and then them almost acting confused that you're hurt by it because they were that disconnected from your feelings or how they hurt you, or even how they traumatized you, maybe in some cases, how they left you heartbroken. Like they don't even understand, or they're acting like they don't even get why you'd feel that way. Like, because to them it like wasn't a big deal, or they're acting that way, which just adds more sting to the pain, right? But yeah, let's go ahead and look at what this person's karma is. Just not enough space for everything we're doing here. Okay, so from the Norse mythology, this is what's going to happen to them. We have Baldur, which is forgiveness, mildness, and kindness. So this is telling me, it kind of goes along with this like naive, immature, unawakened energy. The karma this person receives is actually going to help them learn not to be this way. Help them learn to be forgiving and empathetic and kind, and understand that their actions actually affect other people, that their actions can cause harm, can cause heartbreak, that other people's emotions are valid. So whatever they go through, it's going to bring that to them. And mistletoe. So I feel like this person, their karma is going to come through their love life in some way with the mistletoe there, because I think it's been a while since I studied these, but like I think this character in the mythology ends up dying because of mistletoe. So it's like maybe this person's heart gets broken because of a romantic situation, because mistletoe is like, at least nowadays, is linked to kissing, right? Which is, yeah. And then we have Ask. Ash, which is the first human man, and that card is in reverse. I mean, this might be a level of impotency or even erectile dysfunction if this is a man that they might have to face. Or if this is a woman, their partner might face that, and so might cause some conflict there. But like, he's surrounded by so much formative chaos. I just feel like this person is gonna run into a lot of chaotic situations in their romantic life and their love life, maybe a lot of fighting, combative relationships. And it's almost like it might even end up being like a cycle that they have to keep repeating until they realize that they're the common denominator in that they're the ones that's constantly causing other people pain or heartbreak or even just invalidating other people's emotions. Like, they don't understand how painful that is. And it might be related to a mother wound, I'm just hearing that they have, that might have caused this kind of emotional immaturity that they're dealing with. But it just seems like they're going to be let down. And with the mistletoe there, it might even be that they might even fall in love with somebody who breaks their heart, okay? And it might take that, or even that happening multiple times before they realize like how much they've hurt you, and even a cycle of people. Okay, so for our runes here, we have Awaz, which is this might even be a marriage, where this person gets harmed or heartbroken from, like their spouse might cheat on them even. We have Ansus, and we have Perthro. Ansus, this is a rune of communication. And with all these threes, that's what I was picking up on before. Like, they, their communication suddenly shifted on you, or they blocked you, or something like that. I feel like they're going to face blockages in their communication with other people, but I'm also getting a lot of miscommunication. Like, their intentions will constantly be misread, especially by their romantic partners. And I feel like that's what's causing all this chaos in their love and romantic life. Like, there's just going to be a lot of, I want to say combative communication. Like, and this person being flabbergasted that other people have issues with them almost. It's like them having to constantly go through pain in their love life until they wake up to the fact that, you know, they're not treating people right. And Perthro, this is the rune of luck, of fate. I just feel like they're going to constantly feel unlucky. Like, they're constantly, and I do feel like this is their romantic life where it's hitting them specifically. But they're going to feel very, very unlucky in love. Like, they're just going to say things like, oh, well, I always find cheaters. I always find the crazy ones, whatever their excuse is. And they're just not going to actually understand that it's coming from them and their behavior. I do feel like, though, with this group in particular, like, I feel like for a lot of you, unlike some of the other groups that we've looked at today, the person that you're asking about might actually be able to change in this lifetime. I feel like they might actually grow. They might actually awaken. They might actually learn their lesson from this karma, which is great, you know, where they feel actual healthy amounts of guilt over what they've done. They might even end up apologizing, but it just seems like it's going to take some cycles of really difficult lessons before it finally sinks into their thick head, basically. Sorry to say it so bluntly, but that's what it feels like. Okay, I'm going to pull some more cards for their karma. Oh, I forgot to do my astro charms. I wanted to get you guys a few signs and initials too, and then we'll look more in depth into their karma. I know it felt like I was forgetting something here. Okay, So Spirit, that is not balanced. Any other not advice, any other messages about who this person is and what they might have done, or what this person's karma is for group number 3? The person who hurt group number 3. Tell us about this person. Okay, so that's the letter M or W, and then we have the letter A. We have Scorpio. Kind of feels like a magnetic pull through Scorpio here. The letter E, we have Aries. We have, oh, that's so funny. I'll get to that in a second. Okay. Like this emoji here. It's like this annoyed, oh my God, group 3 is showing emotions again, but it landed on Aquarius, which is kind of a detached from emotions kind of sign. Not always, of course, but like Aquarians can have that tendency. So it's like this person is very, very emotionally detached, even if they might act like they are up front. So yeah, we do have Aquarius there as well, and I was picking up Gemini earlier. We have some more Gemini. Gemini ascendant. We have the letter D, the letter K, the letter Y, the letter L. We have the letter R and the letter M, and the planet of Pluto in the 10th house. So that's confirmation for anybody who's asking about not a romantic partner, even though their karma is romantic, but Pluto in the 10th house. This is someone causing some sort of ending, like in your workplace. So this really could be a boss, something like that. That's your confirmation here, that this person might have caused a major tower moment, a major ending in something you really cared about. If it's not your work, it's something you worked hard for. But one second, my dog is barking. I'll be right back. Okay, so it turns out my dog was just being paranoid and barking at nothing, which made me think, though, that might be part of this person's karma, or even what they did to you. They might have to, sorry, I'm out of breath after running around the stairs. They might have to face a lot of paranoia, okay? Especially since I feel like their love life is going to be hit the most. Like paranoia, like they're constantly think their partner is cheating on them, kind of thing. Because I feel like for some of them, they might actually face unfaithful partners. What was I saying? Oh yeah, facing cheating partners, or like if this is like a work situation, they might be constantly paranoid at their job that, you know, they're going to get fired the next day. So they're just dealing with a lot of paranoia that people are going to betray them. And it feels like they're not going to realize for a while it's because they're the one that betrays. The betrayal mindset actually comes from within them. Because they've betrayed people, so they kind of project, oh, others are going to betray me because that's what I would do in that situation. If that kind of makes sense. It's just like a flaw in their own psyche that they're kind of not quite willing to look at. Any other details about this person's karma, please, Spirit? Any other details? We have the Magician in reverse. Difficulty achieving their goals with the Magician in reverse. I just noticed there's a rose at the bottom there on this reverse card too. So yeah, just definitely, especially how that rose is shaped. It's like, yeah, I feel like erectile dysfunction is a thing for this group, if this is a man we're talking about. If it's a woman, I mean, it could be other forms of dysfunction, or their partner, if their partner's a male, being dysfunctional, things like that. I feel like they're being looked over for opportunities, whether it's love or in their workplace. Things just manifesting really slowly for them. They're not charging forward as quickly through life as they'd hoped, which is kind of, I don't want to say funny, but it's a little ironic, since it feels like that's part of what they did with you was, you know, they charged forward so confidently, like they acted like they knew what they were doing, but then, you know, there was collateral damage along the way. Because I feel like this person with that attitude was just expecting, you know, they're going to make it through life so easily and so quickly because, you know, they're the shit. But then it turns out, no, actually things are going to manifest slowly and painfully and difficult for you. Just kind of due to this lack of self-awareness. 3 of Swords. That is so perfect, right? So it just seems like the amount of heartbreak this person caused you, they will feel that level of heartbreak. And I feel like once they feel that level of heartbreak, they might even have to feel it multiple times. That's when they're going to learn their lesson, because I do feel like the person that I'm picking up on in this group has the greatest capacity for change of any of the groups I've read so far. But they'll learn. They'll learn how they hurt and, you know, grow from it and not do it again, which is really wonderful. But for some of them, it just feels like, especially if this hits their love life, they might actually have a family involved, and it might involve a divorce, and it's just really sad. That's really painful. Before they learn their lesson. But, you know, people like this can leave a lot of collateral damage until they learn their lessons, which is really unfortunate. I'm going to pull a few emoji cards to see if we can get a few specifics, and then I will move into the extended, where we will look at how your life will be positively impacted as a result of the scales tipping back to neutral. Okay. Yes, that one. So we have the lightning bolt, and the umbrella. So that's like bad weather. What does that mean, Spirit? Bad weather. And we have the syringe. Bad weather. Bad weather might be a message for some of you. I mean, with all this chaos and destruction around the character in this card, it just might be... I mean, maybe this person has to deal with some natural disasters coming in to destroy things they've built. I don't feel like that's the case for most of you, because again, I am picking up this will hit them the hardest in their love life. But it just, maybe this is just the chaos of their relationships. Their relationships are going to feel really stormy, really combative, like I was saying. I feel like there's a lot of fighting, maybe even a lot of screaming going on, and it's just really tumultuous for them. I feel like this person is going to spend a lot of time, not spend a lot of time, they're going to waste a lot of time searching for solutions that don't quite measure up. Okay, so this is going back to this like erectile dysfunction thing I was picking up on. If this is a man, I feel like this person might turn to a lot of different, you know, maybe solutions or drugs or other things to try and make them feel more potent or masculine. And I don't know if that might cause issues. That might cause, like, feed into some of this tumultuousness. It just feels like they're going to be, you know, really struggling until they finally wake up to their own behavior, and then they feel guilty and they apologize and they grow through it, because I do feel like this person will do that at some point in this lifetime. It might not be till closer to the end of their life. It depends on the person, but just like the lightning bolt here, it just feels like they will have some sudden realization, some sort of awakening that helps shed light on why this is happening repeatedly in their life. But anyway, that's what I have for this side of the reading, this person's karma. If you'd like to follow me over into the extended, I'd love to have you there, and we will see the positive stuff that's going to come into your life to make up for how this person hurts you. And yeah, for the first week, it will be discounted. I already keep them at a fairly low price anyway when I do extendeds, but you know, if you're interested, go check those out. But regardless, even if you're going to leave me right now, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.